again, my fellow student. Again, I am Krista Joy Pablador Ibana. Welcome back to my vlog, second vlog actually. Ngayon naman, ang pag-uusapan natin is all about proportion. Ano nga ba ang proportion? What is proportion? Basta English man o Tagalog, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay tungkol sa proportion. First, we're going to talk about what is proportion. Proportion is the comparison between two or more ratios or rates. Proportion says that two ratios or functions are equal. In the proportions, in valuing two ratio as in A divided B is equal to C divided D or AB is equal to CD, where the first and fourth terms A and B and the extremes while the second and third terms B and C are the means. In short, the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. Let's proceed to the types of proportion. We have three. First, direct proportion. Second, inverse proportion. And third, partitive proportion. But first, we're going to talk about direct proportion. Direct proportion is the relation between two quantities where the ratio of the two is equal to a constant value, where one quantity increases or decreases as the other quantity also increases or decreases at the same ratio and rate. Let us assume that y varies directly with x and y is equal to 36 when x is equal to 6. Using the direct proportion formula, find the value of y when x is equal to 80. For the first example, using the direct proportion formula, substitute the given x and y values and solve for k. So, 36 is equal to k times 6. K is equal to 36 divided 6 is equal to 6. The direct proportion equation is y is equal to 6x. Now substitute x is equal to 80 and find y. So, y is equal to 6 times 80 is equal to 480. The answer is 480. Let's proceed to the example number 2. If the cost of 8 pounds of apple is $10, what will be the cost of 32 pounds of apples? So for the example number 2, it is given that weight of apples is 8 leaves. Cost of 8-leaf apple is $10. O, diba baliktad? Let us consider the weight by x parameter and cost by y parameter. To find the cost of 32-leaf apple, we will use the direct proportion formula. 10 is equal to k times x. No? K times x, k times 8. On substituting the values, k is equal to 5 divided 4. Now putting the value of k is equal to 5 divided 4 when x is equal to 32. We have the cost of 32 leaves apple. So, 5 divided 4 times 32. So, y is equal to 5 times x, 5 times 8, and y is equal to 40. The answer is, the cost of 32-leaf apple is $40. And for the last example, Henry gets 16,726 for 50 hours of works. How many hours has he worked if he got 14,384 pesos? Let the amount received by Henry be treated as y and the number of hours he worked as x. Substitute given x and y values in the direct proportion formula. We get 16,726 is equal to k times 50. So, k is equal to 16,726 divided 50. So, our k is, we get 334.52. The equation is, our y is going to 334.52. Now, substitute of y is equal to 14,384 and find x. So, 14,384 is equal to 334.52x. So, 14,384 divide 334.52 is equal. So we get 43. Therefore, if Henry got 16,726, he worked for 43 hours. Since the car is traveling at a constant speed, the distance is traveled is directly proportional to the same time it takes to travel that distance. Let t be the time it takes to travel a distance of 500 miles, then we can set up the proportion. So, for the first 300 miles over or divided 6 hours is equal to 500 miles divided p. So we're going to cross multiplying, so we get 300 t is equal to 6 times 500. So our t is going to be 100. Therefore, it will take our 100 hours to travel the distance of 500 miles at the same speed. So, start with problem number 2. Since the length of the wall is directly proportional to the time it takes to build it, we can set up the proportion length of the wall divided time to build is equal to constant. Let L be the length of the original wall, then we can write L E is equal to K, where K is the constant of proportionality. To find the time it takes to build a wall that is twice as long, we can use the same constant of proportionality. So L T is equal to K, where T is the time to take to build the longer wall. Solving for T, we get T is equal to 2L times L divided L. So our T is going to 16 hours. Therefore, it will take the crew 16 hours to build the wall that is twice as long using the same construction method. For the problem number 3, since the number of workers is directly proportional to numbers of units produced, we can set up the proportion. Number of workers divided number of units is equal to constant. Let W be the number of workers needed to produce 1,000 units in 5 days. Then we can write 10 divided 1,000. To find the number of workers needed to produce 2,500 units in 10 days, we can use the same concept of proportionality. So, W divided 2,500 is equal to 10 divided 5 times K. Simplifying, we're going to simplify this and we're going to get 25. Therefore, 25 workers are needed to produce 2,500 units of the product in 3 days.